Alright, I did not budget time well, so I have about 20 minutes to do this. So hopefully we go through everything important in that time. If you're gonna play here, yeah, if you're gonna play here, don't peek too early, because if they know you're here, you're gonna be sad, right? The whole point of this really aggressive positioning is for them to walk past you, or in front of you, right? And then you got a free like opening clip into whatever you want, right? But if they know you're here, then like you get this where it's like they just throw junk bombs in you can never do anything, right? Always gonna put a trap in front of you, and you can be like, what do I do? Yeah, and like he's ready for you, right? Oh! Yeah. And it got real ugly, mostly because of that, right? Nice. Careful blinking when you don't have to, right? Again, if no, like, take the time to look to see if anyone's actually looking at you, right? So this is dangerous because he's staring right at you, and he's shooting you, right? In this case, he's not actually looking at you, right? So I understand the panic here, but like you sort of almost kill yourself here doing this, right? And then second, right, in a couple seconds it's gonna come up. Like you're gonna blink out here, right? And then you're gonna panic thinking that you're gonna get shot from here, and you're gonna blink to be safe, right? Which is reasonable, except for the fact that no one was looking at you and no one can even shoot you, right? They're all looking at this Reinhardt who's in their face. So like this blink is like a little unnecessary. And then look, if you look at this, right? This guy even turns around. He doesn't even try to look at you, right? And then you still blink, right? You still blink, right? And then you come out again. You get this free shot, right? Again, you kill this guy. No one is looking at you, right? And you blink, right? So that's 3 unnecessary blinks in a row, right? I'm holding 3 at my camera, at my monitor, and you can't even see it. But you know, now they're looking at you, so now you need to blink. But this is when you have no blinks left.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
I liked it. Finish him. No. Okay, if you want to finish him, right? You have recall, so you can play really aggressively, right? You just need to like kill him fast, right? Kill him dead fast. So let's get back to there. I overskipped. Alright, so once you decide to go on him, right? Once you decide to go on him, this is fine, right? When he goes over here, just like blink, blink, get directly underneath him, unload everything, right? And then recall, right? And that'll put you either here or back here, right? And either outcome is safe. But you try to finish him with long range shots, and as Tracer, this is super, super unreliable, right? So just like, when you see him go up the air, like blink, blink, reacquire target, shoot him, right? And then recall. That's not you. But this is like, this is so hard right now. Right. Now you get to recall and ooh! Ooh! That was close. Okay, so you didn't recall, but it was you very, very nearly died. If they were like even slightly better, you would have died, right? Don't come back here, please don't come back here, right? Again, right? You want to set up on the flank, right? This is where you want, this is your home, right? This is where you need to be, right? Play this corner, right? And if they ignore you, right, you walk in for free and kill them. If they do pay attention to you, you just try not to take damage, you back up, right? And just recheck every like 5 seconds or so, right? Just like, see? Just poke your nose around the corner. If they're looking at you, you blink left, right, and dodge. If they're not looking at you, then like you see if you can walk in and go for an assassination or something. So this is good. That's funny. That was good. Again, you just want to do that earlier. You don't want to come back at all. Right? You just have the tendency, like when you're low, you just come back to team, right? And you want to avoid that whenever possible. In this case, it was fine, but like notice how like instead of like backing up and positioning yourself here, where you can't get shot from anyone over there, right? But you can still get healed, right? Instead of positioning yourself here, right? You go all the way back here, where you can actually potentially, you're actually slightly more likely to die, right? Because like maybe there's someone up here who shoots you with the Helix rocket right as you blink in to get in front of your healers, right? Same deal with heal. Same deal with this, right? You blinked over here to come back to your team when you didn't need to, and you can just camp here, and you're just equally as unlikely to die here, and you're in a better spot overall in this spot, right? That's not you. There's a great pulse here. That is not the pulse. All right. So let's talk about the pulse. So here, you see the Zarya use bubble, right? So Zarya bubble is one of the biggest counters of pulse bomb in the game, right? So you see the Zarya bubble, so immediately your mind should be, I want to stick the Zarya, right? So you blink in. This ball even sets you up for a pile drive, right? So you just need to walk forward, right? And then throw a sticky on this guy right as he's landing, right? And it's like a guaranteed sticky. But you like hesitate, right? You try to shoot her, and then you sticky the Moira. And the Moira not only has fade, you also didn't see the projected bubble, right? Which means she probably has it. So now this is like a double, no way this guy dies, right? And so he fades and gets bubbled, right? And now the Zarya has like full charge, right? Yeah. So again, right? Like take your guaranteed sticky on the bubble, right? That was a great sticky, like that was a great recognition that you go for a sticky there, right? But the problem is like, again, you went for the wrong person as soon as like you got in, right? You just panicked a bit and went for the not Zarya. All right, this is problematic. So this is problematic for a couple of reasons. One is especially in like a scrim setting, right? Especially in a scrim setting. What is going on right now? Nothing. Nothing's going on, right? So just gotta wait. Just gotta wait and chill until something happens. If something happens, then you can start walking in, right? But you also want to do this by walking in and not by blinking in, because if you blink in, you have no way out, and you're gonna be very sad. I mean, you have recall, but like your time is very limited, and you need to be very confident in your ability to hit one clip. And blinks are also very loud, so as soon as they hear the blinks, a good Ana will just start like juking and like jiving and being really hard to hit, right? In which case you definitely will not kill it before your time's up, right? And you have to go up. So again, like you double blink here, you get half a clip in, and you do a good damage in that half a clip, but she lives, right? And now you have to leave, and okay, you just die. So same thing, you left, you left spiritually. But you get the idea, right? Timing is really important. Makes everything so much easier if like your timing's good. Am I still sped up? I was. Good pressure on the Moira. Alright. So again, timing-wise, that was rough because they were still walking in, and your team hadn't really, your tanks hadn't committed to the fight yet. So you double or triple blinked in, and then had a recall, right? I know that was really fast, but I don't feel like going back and messing things up again. So this is dangerous because you have no recall, but you bail out early enough. I like this. You're regrouping. You take the high ground. You take your free shots. Nice. That was really good. That part right there. At this point, anything you do is good timing because there's like, you know, it's chaos. But yeah, you should try and stick something. Probably just like start blinking in here and seeing if you can land a sticky on one of these squishies, right? But like, you need to make your impact on the fight as soon as you can, right? And the longer you wait on this pulse bomb, the less likely it is you're gonna have impact. Recall, recall. Ah, okay. So, with Soldier Visor, you can kind of play around it if you blink through him a lot. But if he looks at you, right, it doesn't matter how many blinks you have. Unless you can blink through him, the only way out is recall. So just don't be afraid to recall there. And again, if you're going for Pulse Bomb, don't let them know you're there, right? So, right here. The Soldier's going to Visor, right? And you shoot him, right? And there's just no point, right? You should just start blinking over to him and seeing when you, like, especially when he starts dropping, this is like a guaranteed Pulse Bomb. Like, where are you right now? So, one blink, two blink, right? As he's landing, again, like, people who are falling, very predictable. You just throw a Pulse Bomb him and it's a guaranteed kill, right? And you shut down the ult, right? You live as well, right? And now that's like a two-man swing on 2 CP. And that's all you ever need, right? Like, instead of you dying and him getting, and him living, right? You kill him and you live, right? Big swing. This is kind of greedy. You have no blinks. You also kind of don't want to fight here. So the problem with this flank is like, where does it lead to? Like it leads out here, right? And this is the front gate, right? This is the point. So in most cases, you rather than walk into the point and you flank from the right side, where you can both participate on the like have easier access to your team, right? Because if you look here, this is not easy access to your team, right? And by definition, by like if a support's playing up here, they just can't help you, right? Whereas like if you back up to here, right? A support hanging out over here can't help you, right? Or even over here, right? They can help you. So this side is easier to support, so you much rather fight on this side of the choke, right? Let them walk in and then go for the flank, as opposed to setting up on this flank, which lets you flank like past the choke, right? It just like it like consistently, this is like a very greedy flank. You need to be pretty sure they're not watching it, right? And if they are watching it, right, or if you want to take this flank, you need to not draw attention to it, right? So you don't want to fight on this side of the map. Oh, you blinked into it. You're crazy. Oh my god, you actually tried to take the elevator with him. I mean, technically you slowed him down, so. Nice finish. Spending too many resources on this. What was that sleep? Yeah. A lot of small errors there, but I don't really want to focus that. I want to focus on this situation, which led you to like to this panic, right? Because like once you were here and you stayed here and then you blinked and then had a double blink over here and suddenly you were fighting people main, right? Like once you got into this situation, you were in just full blown panic mode and you weren't really thinking anymore, right? So I just want to talk about like this, like don't put yourself here in the first place, right? If you want to do this flank, right, it needs to be sneaky and you need to know that they're going main already, right? So like again, you can't really fight for this spot of the map because you can't get supported, whereas this part of the map is much easier to fight for, right? I do like how you're pathing to high ground when we have the time, though. Overall, something I really appreciate.
Thanks. My ultimate is almost ready.
Yeah, just wait, hold. Don't do anything. Hold. Sit.
You have my thanks.
Hold. No. Ah. Alright, so we talked about this, right? You have no cooldowns, you have no recall. And it's because you fought before they committed to anything and before your team was ready, right? You're fighting way outside the choke when you don't have to. Like, if you're going to set up here, that's totally fine, right? But you're really waiting for them to try and walk in, right? And as they start walking, you walk in behind them, and then you get a free flank, right? With no cooldowns committed because you're already behind them, right? You just need to time your entrance for like when they're like trying to like actually commit to the fight and your team's committing back, right? And that's when you show up without using any blinks, right? But again, right? Don't fight them before there's actually anything else going on, because then they just all look at you and you get chased out. Oh, you're winning this duel. Nice. You grab the mega. If it's not hacked, it's hacked. Feels bad. Right, now you just chill here, right? Because you're low on health and you have no cooldowns, right? You just chill here, and you shoot anyone who like is convenient, but you don't peek and you don't do anything stupid, right? Hang on, there's an insect here. Where's the ants coming from? I'm really concerned because these look like ants, but I'm not sure if they are because they keep appearing in the same spot, and I literally can't find where they're coming from. And that spot is like the middle of my desk, so I don't know how they're getting there. Are they like falling from the ceiling or something? And if they're ants, I'm like, that's really bad. But if they're not ants, then maybe not so much. Like they're flying or something, but they don't look like they have wings. And I don't know where they're coming from. It's giving me anxiety. Alright, anyways, back to this. Sorry. Oh, whoops. Somehow I got off your camera.
60 seconds remaining. One. Complete. Score. to 2. Switching sides. Initiate.
Alright, let's look at your attack tracer. Speed run this, only a couple minutes.
Anna,
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
why didn't you tell me?
You of all people are going to ask me.
Alright, I like using blinks again here. Just chill here once you're here. You don't really want to get into a fight like this because you have no blinks, but I mean, if you win it, I guess. She killed herself. Nice. Overall, you played the situation pretty well. Again, don't blink out here if you don't have to. Just like walk out, so that way you have blinks. Or find this Moira as soon as she blinks. Ooh, you saw her appear in front of you, right? Just make sure she dies, right? So Moira's big cooldown is fade. Once she uses it, like really focus on tracking her down after that and killing her. In this case, you saw her feed right in front of you, so turn around and go find her again, right? Also, again, stay locked on your target, right? You put half a clip on it, you saw her health, right? And then you turn around and and then you're like, blink, shoot the first thing I see, which is Zarya. But keep shooting the Ana, right? Take the half second, find the Ana again, shoot the Ana. Don't shoot the first thing you blink into. Short sucks. Go chase down. Now find the Torb if you can. Wait, she just TP. Wait, was she hiding there? What? She was so scared. She's like, what is this? How does she know? Oh, careful fighting the Torb like that, yeah. With Torb, you want to fight outside of shotgun range, and so that way, like, he has to use his left click, because his left click is really hard to hit, so yeah, that's the spacing you want. Just close enough that it's like, that your damage is still effective, but far enough away that his left click isn't used. Right. Wait, no! Focus on this! Your ball's fighting this guy, fight this guy too! You're trying way too hard to get on the map early. Right, like, your team's not even done capping and you're here. I mean, I appreciate the hustle, but this is not going to end well. Yeah.
I claim this objective. Stand with me.
Objective A captured. New defense point. Objective B.
This is fine. We talked about like why you didn't want to fight here, and now you see this ball's doing this, so you like it's totally okay to just shoot him because like, you know, he's being stupid. This elevator's not really your best friend, so what you want to use this elevator for is to cross this high ground, and that way you can play the high ground above them. That's the main purpose of this elevator for a Tracer. Like, again, you don't want to grab their attention if you're going to make a play like this, right? So, like, don't shoot these people if you don't have to. Now you gave up your high ground, which is fine. Now you want to use this flank, right? Because you're already here. Don't walk into the grab. That was close. Yeah, you're just not doing much, right? So we talked about earlier how, like, when you were on defense, right, you want to sit here longer because your team is, like, you're out of cooldowns and you're low in health, and you're just waiting for your team to heal you while you, like, stand here and shoot. That's what you're doing here. But the problem is, right, you're full cooldowns, you're full HP, and you're still doing it, right? So, like, there's time and place, right? In this case, you got your health, right? You're full HP, you're full cooldowns, cross the gap and go flank, right? Or, if you decide that this is more important, right? Commit, like, your ult and your blinks and your cooldowns to fight in this space, right? From the front if you figure that's the way to go, which is totally fine. But you can't just, like, decide to, like, play super defensive here when you have everything, right? Because the fight's on, right? People are ulting. There's a lot of stuff going on, right? The fight's on.
Reinhardt at your service.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Oh, you hear Zarya bubble. That's always okay. Just heads up. If you're against a Sombra, that is always going to be hacked on defense. So or on when you're attacking. So don't even try. Right. Before you recall there as well, I guess you have this, so this is fine. But something you want to consider against Brig is if she bashes you, she's probably going to keep swinging and she's not going to shield. So you get a free pulse bomb into recall at that point if you really want to.
I will keep you here.
That was good though, saving your pulse for the... Uh... Oh, don't die here. If you die here, that's really bad. Wow, he really just does not care. Alright, you gotta be... First of all, save your cooldowns if you're gonna rush the spawn doors, right? Like, rush it slowly, so that way you have blinks when you need to fight, because you turn the corner, and you, like, walked into the McCree, and you realize, like, hey, I have no blink to get away from this flashbang, right? But he didn't even try to flash you, because, like, you know, he's dumb, but...
Apagando las luces.
Again, pick a target and keep shooting it, right? You put 2 clips in the Brig, and then you switch to a clip in the Lucio, and when you switch back to the Brig, they're both full health. Just keep focused on one person, right? Unless the target call changes, right? Unless your team chooses someone to shoot, right? In which case, then you can, like, change targets and work with them, right? But don't just change targets every clip just because, like, it's the first thing you see, right? So in this case, right, keep shooting the Brig, right? Try and kill the Brig, right? Don't shoot anything else, right? That's good. She dies, right? You should decide to shoot Lucio here, right? Again, like, the Lucio looked hard to shoot and the Hog was shooting you, so like you just switch to shooting the Hog for some reason, right? Shoot the Lucio. Shoot the Lucio, right? He's so low. That bubble with the big save. This is a really greedy flank, right? The fight's on point. You have blinks, right? Just stick around, right? My Sommer's above. You can't do much about that. Yeah, there's a minion here, by the way, if you need health. Just grab that. That one's almost never hacked, so... okay, so I gotta go. So, overall, biggest things for you are just, like, figuring out the timings on your engages, especially, like, when you're fighting outside, like, out of structure, right? So if you're just chilling out here, right, and you're waiting for them to walk in, right, just wait. Just actually wait, right? Like, don't get antsy. Don't engage because it looks like they're not looking at you, right? Wait until, like, they're... Not only they're not looking at you, but they have other things to worry about, right? Wait until your team is giving them problems, right? And then, like, don't sit here until the fight starts. Obviously, like you want to start walking in as they leave you behind, right? So that way you can catch up with the play when it happens, right? Because you want to be like flanking when the fight starts, right? So you don't want to be too late, but you're going way too early right now, like pretty consistently. Also, again, we talked about this before, just maybe not to the same extent. But if you're gonna if they're not looking at you, you don't have to blink, right? If they're not looking at you, you don't have to recall, right? Like attention is a resource, and you need to pay attention to that resource of theirs. Besides, like, because health is a resource, and you can pay attention to health by shooting them and seeing their health, right? But you can pay attention to the resource by looking at them and seeing if they're looking at you, right? With their eyes. Yeah. I think those are the major points for you. If you have any questions, concerns, please let me know. And if you get to this part of the video, please DM me what 8 plus 13 is. All right.